My name is Fiemu Nwariaku. I'm a professor of surgery at University of Utah, and I serve as the chair of the Department of Surgery. I also am an endocrine surgeon, which means that I will operate on people with thyroid, parathyroid, and adrenal disease. My first love was flying, so I was going to be a pilot, but I was inspired to pursue surgery because of my mentors. I had a mentor in medical school who was a cardiac surgeon, and I was enthralled by his compassion for his patients, his knowledge, and his caring for the rest of the team. And so I decided that surgery might be a good career to pursue. Again, endocrine surgery was something that I had not considered. My initial thought was to become a trauma surgeon. I had a mentor who was a consummate clinician and educator who mentored me through residency. And I enjoyed the way that he interacted with his patients. His skills in surgery and his knowledge about the diseases were used to improve the care of his patients. And his curiosity about endocrine surgery were all attractive to me, so I decided that I would go into a career in endocrine surgery. I think that patients who have cancer feel very anxious. The diagnosis of a cancer brings with it a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty about the future. So when you meet the patient for the first time, you meet them at a point in their lives where they're dealing with probably one of the most difficult decisions that they have to make. The ability to help them navigate that process, reassure them about the treatments that are available, and then carry them through the whole journey of the cancer, regardless of the outcome, I think is a privilege that we all have as physicians, surgeons particularly, by being able to treat the cancer in a way that can be curative sometimes, offer immense hope to many of our patients. So I think it's a true privilege to be able to walk with the patient through that journey for cancer and get them to a point where they are either cancer-free or they have no symptoms from their disease. The field of endocrine surgery has been around for over 100 years. And I think if you wanted to have an impact on the field, it would have to be developing the next generation of endocrine surgeons so they can go through this journey of discovery and knowledge seeking to improve the quality of life or the lives of patients with endocrine diseases. My hope is that at the end of my career, I would have contributed to the new knowledge around endocrine diseases, but more importantly, that I've developed a cohort or a group of people who will carry that forward to the future. I have been involved with research in general for almost 3 decades. And as you can imagine, research tends to be broad. And so it's helpful to spend time focused on a particular area. Somehow or the other, for a number of reasons, we focused on adrenal cancer as a research focus. Adrenal cancer is a lethal disease. The current treatments that we have are not very effective, and the outcomes are generally not very good. So I've spent time working with a number of collaborators around the country to better understand the disease, improve the treatment, and even if we can't cure it, to improve the quality of life of the patients who live with adrenal cancer. Currently, I'm working with a PhD at the Huntsman Cancer Institute who has developed a mouse model of adrenal cancer that shows that males and females behave differently with the cancer. And it's possible that because of the way that our steroids are in men and women, that it affects the adrenal cancer cells and either causes them to grow faster or actually slows them down when they grow. So we're currently working on this in the animal model, and we're hoping that we'll translate this into patients soon. One of the reasons that I chose to begin to explore opportunities in global surgery is because there's such disparity in outcomes in surgery around the world for a whole list of reasons. We have disparities in the United States, but we also have disparities all over the world. And because surgery can be curative for a number of things, such as trauma and cancer, I felt that it was a responsibility to take the knowledge that we've gained in the current situation and apply it to patients all over the world, particularly in training and educating the people who provide care for patients globally. So my current interest in global surgery is to reduce the deaths from road traffic injuries in low income or low resource settings, and also to improve the care of cancer patients in those parts of the world. And I think we can do that through improving access to care for those patients, but also creating systems in those countries and regions to improve the quality of care for the patients that they provide care for. The Department of Surgery at the University of Utah is an outstanding department. It's been built over decades from the work of my predecessors. The University of Utah itself has a unique position by serving such a large swath of the landmass in the U.S. and a huge patient population that has poor access to care. I was attracted to the department because of the opportunity to create a world-class Department of Surgery that had impact in our community. I believe that the evolution of the department will cross all our missions, including high-quality clinical care, particularly for our rural populations that don't have access to care, research that is innovative, not research for the sake of research, but research that has an impact to the patients and the society, and then education to train the next generation of academic surgeons who are going to continue to advance the mission of knowledge in surgery. The department consists of 8 divisions, and all the divisions are high-functioning divisions. My hope is that we will expand these clinical programs, but also that we have an impact in the communities that we serve. My goal is that at the end of this, we will be one of the best departments of surgery in the Western U.S., if not the entire country. It's really an exciting time for us in the department. I launched this program Beyond the Code because we have a very large Department of Surgery, but more importantly, each and every member of our team has a lot of personality behind what they bring to work. And given the current way that we live our lives, it's difficult for us to understand or learn about each other. And I learn about my teams every single day. I am just so excited about the things that our faculty, the APCs, and our staff do outside work. A lot of it has to do with supporting their communities, supporting each other, and developing each other. So this series, I would hope, will give us the opportunity to learn about all the members of our teams, about what they do, not just when they come to work, but what they do in their communities, what their personal interests are, and hopefully it'll begin to give us the opportunity to function better as a team at work for the sake of our patients as well. I spend a lot of time, I'm quite active, so I play some golf when I can, but really I love playing squash. That's the piece of my social activity and my physical activity that gives me the most joy outside work. You play squash with a partner or in a team. And it's a sport that has a combination of strategy, of shot selection, of agility, of endurance, and physically is quite demanding. So I played in a local club in town here, and we get together a couple of times a week. I enjoy playing squash because it gives me the relationship with someone else who's on the court, helps me navigate the personalities that I play with, but also it applies to work because you're playing as a team. I think that it also helps with judgment in deciding which of these shots to take. And in surgery, we say that surgery is successful not because of the fact that you're a good surgeon, but because you have judgment about when to operate on someone and when not to operate. So that judgment actually comes into play when you're at work. And then one good thing in the culture of squash is that even though we play against each other, most of the people you play with are trying to help you improve your game. So they're not about beating you, they're about making you better so that they become better. And that resonates with me at work because when I work with the residents and the trainees in surgery, the goal is not to beat them down, but actually to help them become better. Same thing with my colleagues. So I think developing people is a huge part of what I do, and it resonates from playing squash. I'm Fiemu Nwariaku. I'm an endocrine surgeon. Beyond the code, I want to be a better squash player.